That is my alarm telling me it's time to take meds. I've been really confused. Because last video I did, I think I talked about feeling better, and then right after that, I did excuse me. There's a thing. Listen. Stop listening. Okay. It was picking up every word I said. So I'm really confused because I've never, ever had my moods go this way, do this to me. I'm fine, and then I am not. I'm depressed, and if I'm depressed, sometimes I'm slow and sluggish and hopeless and sad and the crying type, and sometimes it's just empty. It's just empty, and I can't in either way, I can't get anything done. I can't, and I struggled just going through my day, just the showering and trying to take my own advice and trying to think what do I tell my listeners to do? And I managed to just to get to the nighttime, and then I can go to bed, and then I can take my meds and go to bed, and maybe I'll feel better the next day. Well, let's say a few days go by like that, and then I do feel better. Sometimes I feel better, and then halfway through the day, I plummet. Or I wake up barely able to move, and towards the end of the day, I suddenly have some energy. Excuse me for a second. Okay, I'm sorry. So then I'm like totally confused because I have only had I've never had that kind of turnaround as far as moods go. Um and and when I'm in the bad days, I mean, I really cannot think to get things done, and I have this list of things to get done and I can't figure out how to do them. How to figure out how to do them. And I ask for help and I don't get help. I don't get help. I ask for it and I don't get it. And I'm like, you understand that sometimes I can't figure things out well. I need help. But and so I mean, for a while I was wondering rapid cycling. But I had always had stayed like a week, at least a week in a mood and flowed into the other part. I would be either manic or hypomanic or mixed, and then have a day where I feel fine, and then have a depression, but not this deep, not this bad. I haven't been this kind of depressed. And it's coming and it's going and it's coming and it's going. And I haven't had that depth of depression since I started taking lithium and Seroquel. So, I mean, I can't even figure it out. How long? 15 years? 50? I mean, I would have little periods of weepiness and poor self-esteem. But the deep, dark depression stopped in my late 30s, early 40s. So it's been a very long time since I've had to deal with this. I've always been the one giving advice, and but this isn't rapid cycling. Rapid cycling is having 4 episodes within a year, which I probably had, all said and done, about 3 a year pretty consistently. Say when I started at the animal shelter in 2010, the very beginning, to 2021, so 11 years, I had very consistent mood changes. The only thing that changed, no, it didn't really change actually. We didn't know the irritability. We didn't know it was part of that. It was a mixed episode. The symptom was still there. We just didn't know where it went, that it was part of the bipolar. For a long time, they just thought it was me being an asshole. Which I am when I'm mixed, and so I avoid people, especially people I care about, because I say horrible things, but this is just different. And I don't want to sit here and talk about myself, but I need to figure this out because nobody is figuring it out for me. And so this, what I'm experiencing, does not land in rapid cycling. You know, it's more than that. It's like a day I can go from one mood to the next, and the next day, stay depressed, and the next day get up, be depressed for half the day, and then be okay. For some reason, I don't feel any hypomania or mania playing. Possibly a little mixed, but I have a reason to be irritable, so I can't be sure. If it's just me being irritable and frustrated, or if it is anyway. It's just like, I don't know what I'm gonna get when I wake up. I usually wake up depressed. I have my coffee and I have about 2 hours of some energy, and as soon as the coffee wears off, I'm back into the depression. And then the next day, I'll feel good. Feel fine. And I'll have maybe 3 days of that. And then I drop. It's like plummet. It's not like a gradual fall. It's like a plummet back into depression. And I'm really getting sick of it. I usually see a psychiatric nurse practitioner, but they've all been phone appointments since COVID. Like, they haven't seen me in a year. And so there are also some possibilities of I stopped taking. I had meds that were making me depressed, stopped taking them, felt better, then this all started. That was for my tremor. I'd rather have my tremor. And that was a good long while ago, so I really don't think that is related. Here's another possibility. This pisses me off. This really does piss me off. It really does make me want to punch something. My nurse practitioner has me get my blood drawn pretty regularly. So, for a reason. Because I'm on lithium and Seroquel. There's some things you need to watch. Well, apparently they're getting the results and not bothering to look, because in February, when I saw a neurologist for an unrelated problem, she mentioned that my thyroid level was low. And I found out that was from September. That was like 6 months ago. And my psychiatrist, my nurse practitioner, had been given those results, and so had my primary physician. And it took an outside neurologist to come in and just mention it. And because it's 0.8 and up is normal. I was 0.6. And lithium can, and that's why they draw the stupid thyroid level. And so I sat there for 6 months, and then I get told, well, it can take several months to kick in. My last level was just about, no wait, I gotta take that back. 0.6. 0.6 is the lowest normal, and I was lower. And then I was 0.8 after taking it for a month. So is this that? And good going, doctors. For now on the little lines that, at least now I find out that they have my doctor has a portal, and I can get on and look at all of my results, my blood results, any x-rays, appointments, everything. And I am going to be on my labs like crazy, because they let me drop for 6 months without, did you even look? I mean, why drum if you're not looking? For all I know, my liver was failing. Anyway, so that could be a factor. I've had a lot of family stress. But I've had family stress before. I've had stress before, really big time stress. And it didn't really, nothing changed as far as my bipolar mood went. I did the normal angry, grieving kind of things. But I was starting to feel a certain kind of weight that I feel all the time when it comes to, I don't know how to go there. Anytime I feel like somebody is depending on me, I run away because it is suffocating. And it stresses me out so bad because I have to watch what I say, and I always say the wrong thing and accidentally offend someone, and I'm just awkward, and I think I'm saying something helpful, and I end up offending somebody, and I worry too much about what I have said, what I should say. It's so stressful that I just want everyone, except for my friends on here, to go away and quit stressing me out. But I feel I want to do the right thing. I want to be there for them. And they don't know. They just think I guess do or say stupid stuff. And one time I tried to explain to my new sister that I've only known for 4 or 5 years, I have this thing, I'm a little awkward. And so I tend to stay quiet. And it doesn't mean I'm not having a good time. I'm just awkward around people. And I'm not like you guys in that you enjoy big groups of people coming together. And I'm like that's the exact opposite of how I live my life. So I like being there and seeing you, but sometimes I have to go disappear and take a break. And I'm going to add something in to this. No, I'm going to finish what I was talking about, and then I'll talk about that other thing. So there was a thing that they used to call ultra rapid cycling. And that is when somebody goes through the cycle, but it can happen within a day, more than one cycle a day, even, or just over a couple days. And if there's not something in the background going on with me, like the thyroid, then I'm wondering if I'm going through that. Now, there are some people that say it doesn't exist. I think some doctors don't think it exists, but I would be like, be in my body for a week and tell me you don't feel like you're on a roller coaster all day, each day. So, but now they call it Ultradian cycling. And I don't know if my nurse practitioner is going to be all up on that. And I'm wondering if I should request the actual psychiatrist, but it's a male. I refuse to say male doctors. The male pattern of communication gets on my nerves. In the professional world, in real life, my best friends have been guys, but in a professional setting, they don't have the verbal skills and the like how to say things with what affect, and they just want to fix it and add more pills. Whereas a female doctor is more going to just listen to what you're saying, and just because I'm saying something doesn't mean I want another pill. I noticed that I keep scratching in my last videos on my skin like I'm allergic to something. Okay, so there's my Ultradian theory. I have only read a little bit about it because I first heard about it way back when I was learning about bipolar disorder, and that's the 90s. A lot it's changed, so I gotta read a lot more, and I think I'll do a video about rapid cycling and ultradian cycling. See, like, even from when I started doing this video, I started out in a place where I couldn't think, and I was blank, and I was depressed, and now I am completely different. I have a completely different sensation throughout my body and my mind. I almost laughed right now because of I banged my thing. But just like 30 minutes ago, just when I started this, I could barely manage talking to you. So here's my other thing that is pissing me off. I think I need to just like go to some retreat where I'm out in nature and there's no Wi-Fi, no anything. But anyway, there is a storm coming. Maybe I'm reacting to that. Okay, this other thing that's making me it doesn't piss me off. It makes me feel very sad. And I know there are other people out there, and anybody who is considering a psychiatric service dog, which I have, Finnegan, in case you don't know, I'll give you a quick rundown on what he does for me. An alarm goes off and he barks his butt off and escorts me to the medication and doesn't stop until I've taken the medication. He wakes me up, makes sure I get up. I wake up, but he makes sure I get up out of bed. And I don't stay in bed. If I am in distress, such as crying, or if I am irritable and I'm pacing or stomping my feet, he will come and jump on me and interrupt me and get my attention to him and offer affection if I'm in the chair, or if I can if I need to sit. He also knows anxiety, so he's doing a lot of that. Anxiety. I sit on the floor because he's kind of short, and he puts his body over my lap and provides deep pressure therapy. He escorts me down into the scary basement to do laundry and goes up behind me so the scary monsters can't follow me. So I can do laundry. And he can open the bedroom door. I taught him that just because he was getting bored. He has his novice. Actually has more than novice. He has obedience training. He goes into stores with me, and if he doesn't like somebody, he'll block, or I can ask him to block, which means he'll stand in front of me sideways so that create a space between me and the person talking to me. So those are the main things. The medicine one is really, really important because and he doesn't bark in the stores. He knows the difference. He does a kind of grumble in the stores. But he the medicine one, because my alarm will go off, and a lot of times I turn the alarm off and then walk away and like don't take the medicine. Or I turn the alarm off and just like walk off in the other direction. I do it all the time. And he's still like, wait. So and that it's every same time every day. So And he just and besides that, he provides affection and some anxiety, and I get out and take him for walks and a little hike on the trail. So there's those things. Um and okay, so tell me, in your opinion, do you think a dog with those skills, and I know I'm forgetting one or two, is a necessary service dog? And I ask that because just people don't act like in my life, people in my life, they act like he is not, he's just, thank you, he's just this dog I taught some tricks to. You know, I can tell him to stay in the store and walk down the aisle, a different aisle, and he'll just sit there. And anyway, um, they certain members of my family, most of my family, treat him and me like we don't need each other. Like I don't need him. Um, you know, I just taught him some neat tricks. And so this issue came up when I am in June going to Michigan for a memorial event, and I'm going to be flying, and it's going to be a lot of, you know, it's the family that like big gatherings. And I thought, this is exactly what he was meant for. And I know he has never been on a plane before, but he has been in other situations where at the library, sometimes I print stuff out from their computer, and I don't even have to ask him. He gets under the table underneath the computer, so he's out of the way, you know. So he's done all that, you know. For food, he goes under the table when we're eating. He would have, you know, he's been on elevators and escalators. I don't think he'd have a problem with flying and stuff. And but I'm staying at my dad's and his wife Shirley, and they don't believe in dogs in the house. So, and my entire day is enmeshed with this dog. So I'm going to be walking around there like I'm lost. And my mom even like kind of poo-pooed the idea of him flying, you know, which is service dogs fly free. And I couldn't understand where she was going with that. He's been in so many different situations. I think this one would be fine. But don't you think they would make the exception for 10 days for their daughter's service dog? I mean, don't you think they would make an exception? He's super house trained. He couldn't be a service dog if he weren't. And I did not just slap a vest on them and call them a service dog. This is legit, but I'm the only one that's taking it seriously. I think, and I'm thinking this more and more, and it's really bothering me. I am an adult living with my adult mother, but there are things that I do, like hobbies or activities that I have picked up. And I'm starting to realize, to clue in to a certain response that she gives me, that she's just humoring me. Like, you know, just give her something to do so she doesn't have an episode, you know. I and I think that's how she feels about Finnegan, that he was just something to keep me busy, and was kind of surprised when I succeeded in, you know, achieving all the goals. But still, she does, I don't know. I don't think she understands that I need him. Um, and I'm just really getting annoyed with this um, sort of patronizing. Like if I'm proud of something I've done, I'd be like, hey, check this out, or whatever. And and I don't know, I'm never that way in return to things she does. She does a lot of sewing, and I don't know. That's a lot of stuff to figure out there. But essentially, the issue is psychiatric service dogs are not respected in the same on the same level, if at all, as service dogs for seizures, for guiding, for deaf, for um, I I just don't. It doesn't help when people put a service dog thing vest on and it's not been trained to be a service dog. Um, but if you're working with a dog, you just put the in training, and and understand that the first thing is basic obedience to a T. Get that first. But even like emotional support animals aren't given the respect, when you're trying to like tell landlord or something, this isn't just a pet. I can't live without this animal. I don't think you understand. I so that so I had while was depressed, I had this like long list of things I wanted to do but simply didn't have the energy or wherewithal to do. And I would even ask my mom, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? Can you Nothing. I'm getting nothing. No help. So anytime I have like the slightest moment of a normal mood, I have to hurry up and get something done. because, or tried my best to do it myself. It's not that I physically can't do things. It's the process of doing things, the follow through of doing things. It's the putting things in an order and looking at the task and becoming overwhelmed before you even contemplate what needs to be done, what can be done, what avenues you have. So my help is usually mental. Even if it was just like, help me with some ideas. Well, have you tried this? Have you tried that? I don't even get that. And I guess, she doesn't have that problem. She can make decisions without days going by and writing pros and cons down and just not being able to. So she doesn't know what that's like. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I can't think it through. What should I do first? So, if I have to go somewhere far, though, she does drive me into the city where it's scary. But yeah, that's another thing people don't understand about psychiatric disorders, that it's not just the symptoms that you read on the box. I call it that, like you're just like reading on the cereal box. There is a whole lot more that goes with it. And one of the problems is when you have cognitive problems, when you're depressed, everything's so thick or just empty. You don't know what to do first. You don't even know what the problem is. You just know something's not working. And you just go to bed. and then you pop over to the other side of mania and you end up making a mess because you took the whole thing apart, or I don't know. You're just like everywhere and you can't finish and you can't stay on task. And I know she's thinking, gosh, why would she need me to help? Even though I've said it. And I'm just going to address this before someone tells me this. It's your medication. Get off your medication. My life without medication, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I would be committed. So I am wishing I felt this energetic. My wish is that I feel this energetic tomorrow. And I can get one thing. I have little things and big things. One big thing and one little thing done. I want to try to find out how to get this special lamp I have fixed, because beautiful. It's got a dragon on it's a castle with a dragon on it, a dragon climbing on it. And you can light the bottom and the light comes through the windows, or just the top, or both. And I haven't been able to find someone how to fix the switch. And that's one thing I've been asking my mom, because she's really good at watching YouTube videos and saying, okay, you need this and you need this, and then we do this. And I'm like, can you help me? I have been asking her to help me with my lamp for months. And so do something with my lamp. Oh, I have to train dogs. So hopefully, if I have energy, I will get those two things done. You know what is interesting, though? I am so in tune to dogs and out of tune with people that when I arrive at the site of where I am training, because I'm actually training the people to train their dogs. Like, I see them for an hour and I evaluate what they did, then I give them homework and they work on it through the week. And I come back a week later and we review and they get a new assignment. So my energy level and my mood always goes up some when I arrive, because I can tell them everything about their dog and why their dog is doing what. And I know that when I tell them, don't bend over your dog. Well, I don't say that. I say, a lot of times if we bend over the dogs, it's kind of makes them want to jump on us. I say it so I'm not being mean to them, and I'm happy because I can provide that. And it was a simple thing. And then they're like, oh, yeah, this is great. So even when I'm feeling depressed, I get an uplift when I'm working with dogs. The people I have things to say about that I can't say, but all the dogs I've worked with have been wonderful. I haven't met a dog I didn't like, so okay, so I'm going to end on that point and get ready to go to bed. Wish me luck in waking up with some energy tomorrow, so I can get something done and I don't feel crappy. Good night. Good night, Eric.